This guy was telling me how I have all these advantages because of my established agency and my case studies. And he was saying he was kind of just making up excuses as to why he can't get clients and why he can't get customers and do his outreach properly. And I was like, dude, to the grand scheme of things, yes, you are correct. Like, huge zoom out, yes, you're going to need case studies if you want any business, any specific agency to be successful. But the thing is, he didn't understand this. My entire business identity is tied up in the real estate niche. If I wanted to pivot tomorrow, right, and start targeting insurance companies, dealerships, lawyers, contractors, I literally can't. Prospects would look at my website, my domain, my case studies. Everything screams real estate. And they'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? Why would I trust you if you don't have any contractor experience? Why are you reaching out to me? I'd get looked at like I have three eyes, right? But this guy, I told him, you don't understand the advantage you have. Nobody knows who you are, dude. You don't even have a niche. You barely know your service right now. You could secretly test every single thing under the sun, every single niche that you want, every single offer, every single type of service that I can't touch, right? I mean, I could, hypothetically, yes, I could start up a whole business. But then again, I even told him that because that was his objection, was like, okay, well, you could just start up a whole new business. It's like, brother, exactly. But guess what? Then we'd be at ground zero, right? Sure, I may have more capital, but if we're taking my capital away, we're at ground zero. You and I are on the exact same fucking level, right? So he can pivot within the snap of his fingers if something doesn't work out. It's like, again, the reason I'm saying the big Boeing jet is I'm on the Boeing 757. I'm in this huge plane, and yes, I can hold more passengers. Yes, I could probably go for a longer distance. Yes, I can probably make more money within that plane. But if you're in a private jet, dude, you can go anywhere. That's got, you're nimble. You can adapt to any situation. You can go anywhere in the fucking world, right? And today, when everything's rapidly changing in the business landscape, that agility is everything, right? So I really want to drive that point home. I don't think he understood it towards the very end, and it was almost like even mind-opening for myself, and being like, damn, this is all very good points, and I just kind of thought of it on the spot. So the two truths, before we dive any deeper, I want to hit you with two things. Like, one, every single person, including myself, started from somewhere, right? And you can't just count yourself out because you don't have the track record, you don't have the case studies, you don't have the reputation. I didn't have any of that either. And, minus the people starting with the silver spoon in their mouths, I started with nothing, just like you, right? So, second, every position in business has an advantage, even being the underdog. Actually, in my opinion, right now, especially being the underdog. For example, AI. We're so new into AI that even if you started 6 months from now versus people who are starting a year and a half ago, it doesn't really matter. As long as you just get on the fucking train, you're going to be fine, right? So again, if you're watching this thinking, nobody knows who I am, I have no credibility, no social proof, congratulations, dude. You just identified like a huge piece of leverage, your secret weapon, if you will. Okay, so the question isn't whether you have advantages. The question is, are you smart enough to actually recognize them, to be self-aware and ruthless enough to exploit them? Okay, so think about that. Next point, I want to talk about the first massive advantage, the core one of being unknown. Complete freedom to experiment, unlimited bats, right? When nobody knows who you are, you can pivot, freaking rebrand if you want to, completely change your name, direction, without any public scrutiny, without any eyeballs on you. And you know what I can't do? I can't suddenly start posting about freaking crypto without people questioning my expertise. I can't pivot to e-commerce without confusing my customers, right? It just doesn't work. But you can test freaking real estate marketing this month. You can try software the next month. You can do AI the month after that. Your failed attempts don't follow you around because, dude, there's no digital footprint to come after you yet. It doesn't matter. You can pivot, right? You get to define your narrative from scratch. There's no like preconceived notions about what you should be doing and what you should post content about and all that stuff. It doesn't matter, right? There's no audience that you have. This is the entrepreneurial equivalent of being able to take a million swings at the plate while nobody's keeping score. And trust me, in business, you need to just take multiple swings to see what works in the first place. So you may as well just start. You may as well just go, right? So I guess the second slash just moving along, the thing about interesting that's human psychology is people are drawn to like genuine, unpolished, like, ruthless, humble beginnings in a way, more than someone who's corporate, more than corporate personas. And again, I'm trying to be a little bit relatable in some videos. Some once in a while videos, I'll make something very unrelatable, but I've gotten comments like that before where it's like, dude, it's kind of hard to relate to this. Like, I kind of relate to this creator more because he's on more of my level. And there's no right or wrong answer. You're actually correct. I believe in the three trios. Like, Find someone who is well above you, find someone near or at your level, and then find someone below you that you can mentor, that you can feel good about helping in your day-to-day. Right? So people love following someone who just started from their journey. This is literally Brez Scales in action, right? Look at how big and huge of a following this guy's got now. They want to be a part of your come up. They want to be a part of your story when you're almost unknown and low key, right? You can be vulnerable about what you're struggling with without damaging this like huge reputation that you're a multimillionaire and you don't have bad days. It's like, dude, everyone has bad days. I've been struggling a lot behind the scenes with some personal stuff. It's like, dude, everyone goes through some stuff, and I can't, like, I'm trying to be more vulnerable myself. So trust me, being unknown creates intrigue and mystery that actually works in your favor, right? It happens. I love actually finding more about underdogs in business than I do people who are established billionaires at this point, honest to God, or hidden billionaires. That is so fascinating to me. Every single time I was listening to My First Million podcast recently, and they were talking about two people that I was like, where did this guy come from? This guy's worth $6.5 billion, and I've never heard of his name before. And there's hundreds of people like this, right? So when you have people watching you, they start expecting more from you. They start critiquing your every move. They start watching you like a freaking hawk, dude, whether you like it or not. Customers, employees, family members, like friends, I promise you. So right now, you get the benefit of the doubt and the excitement of potential. Wow, that guy's ambitious. That guy looks cool. Like, this is awesome, right? Use it to your advantage. Okay. Kind of goes in the next point. So low pressure testing area, environment, whatever the hell you want to call it. I want to talk about pressure for a second. When you're established, every single move is scrutinized. Think of like public companies. Every piece of content is just against you. Every business decision is analyzed by competitors, your customers, your employees. But nobody knows who you are. You're operating in a very low pressure environment. It's you versus you, dude. That's it. You can test different content styles, voices, niches without disappointing anyone watching, right? Because it doesn't exist. So I'm telling you, criticism stings a lot less when it's not attached to your identity that you already have, that you've built up, which is, again, there's a lot of pros to an audience, but the big con is not being able to shift right away. You don't know. And Weiler, for example, like, we talk about this all the time. Of course, we want to make videos that make the algorithm well, but dude, we both talk about the time where it's like we would just post what we truly wanted to post. And I'm not saying I don't want to post these videos. I love every single video that I post, but of course, there's some, options and moments where I'm like, man, am I really making this video, or am I making this video because I just want some extra, like a nice little spike in views? And I have that once every couple of months. I will be fully transparent about that, right? But I know in my core, I should just do what I want. And that's what someone at ground zero can do. They can always do what they want, right? Because they don't have that audience on them yet. So again, you can make mistakes, you can iterate very quick. And the beautiful thing is, once you just find what works, that becomes your quote unquote like origin story that people love, that people relate to. So it's a win-win all the way around, right? Going to the next point, you have like strategic flexibility and a lot more market intelligence. Honest to God, like, when it really gets interesting, when nobody knows who you are, you have strategic flexibility. You can study what works for others and adapt it without being called a copycat. I can't suddenly start using the same video ideas as my competitors without people noticing. People call it out. I got called the Dan Co of the gaming world, which I actually loved. He wasn't saying it as a hate comment anyways, but it's like, it made me think for a second. It's like, damn, I'm not trying to copy him. Like, I want to make up my own style, but you got to kind of replicate what works. And that's that's scrutiny in a way. It's good scrutiny, but you can model successful businesses as a beginner across multiple industries and just cherry pick the best strategies. You can collaborate with anyone without worrying about like brand alignment, or you can test partnerships. You can test different ventures. You can do anything. And plus, your competition changes over time. So the people who seem like unreachable today might be your literal friends tomorrow or peers tomorrow. So the key is, like, while they're comfortable in their established position, you're hungry, you're nimble, you're ambitious, you're willing to do what they won't do, right? So I guess, like, last point here, the competitive, reality check. Like, let me give you the reality check about your competition that you seem to be so hooked on, that they're so established. Most of them got comfortable. Okay, they're running the same playbook that they ran 3 years ago. I'm a huge proponent and loser of this. My agency is doing a huge pivot right now because I've been selling the same offer for years. It's slowly starting to die out. I need to pivot, right? And I used to be afraid of pivoting because I had so much invested in the current identity. So, your competitors think the same way. They can't test new markets without confusing customers. They can't experiment with new approaches. They're the Boeing 757 trying to make a sharp turn. And you know what you are? You're the jet, right? You can just turn around in 30 seconds. You can outmaneuver them. You can out-test them. You can out-adapt them, everything, right? So I want you to think of that. I really, really want you to take that mindset. Embrace being unknown. Use the window of anonymity or whatever the hell that word is to test aggressively. Pivot quickly. Experiment quickly. Pick my call to action to you. Pick 3 niches you're interested in and spend the next 30 days creating content for each one. Do cold outreach for each one and just test different messaging. Just do stuff, dude. Throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. We're at a black screen now. As always, the classics. If you've made it this far, I want to see you win. We will see you in the next one, and thank you for your time.
So this may be a highly unpopular opinion, but I think working from home is overrated. Now I've worked from home fully. I've been fully remote for the past year, meaning I have not gone into the office for a whole year, not one day, not. So basically, if y'all haven't seen this video, it came out about 3 weeks to a month ago by a YouTuber of the name Fart Sniffer, which honestly, it's an awesome freaking name. But when I first saw this video, I was a little pissed off, I'm not gonna lie. And I wasn't pissed off at Fart Sniffer or the video or his channel at all. I was more pissed off at YouTube. Because first of all, no custom thumbnail on this video. Second of all, a swear in the title. And right when you start watching the video, there's a bunch of swears throughout the entire video. Which I'm saying, I'm really happy he uploaded this video. But I thought YouTube didn't promote this. And this is exactly what he talks about in his channel or on his video. And I'm not going to summarize this whole video because I'd actually prefer you guys go and watch it because I think it'll open a lot of people's eyes. But basically, he talks about a few things about how one of his gaming channels doesn't really get recommended, how you need all this bullshit nowadays, it seems, to even have a video blow up or get recommended to anybody. And also how right when you open YouTube, you get recommended a bunch of bullshit that you didn't even ask to see. But I love how a channel like this, which he basically doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't have a profile picture, he doesn't have a banner, he doesn't go crazy trying to make super fucking crazy thumbnails and edits on his, with text flashing on the screen and all these jump cuts. And I love that, man. That reminds me of how the old YouTube was. And I know things change, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But it just feels more like how YouTube should be. Like YouTube now, it feels so mechanical and robotic. I don't know how else to say it. But that might be a separate video that I complain about YouTube more specifically on. The reason I want to talk about this video is because it really opened my eyes, and actually, it's part of the reason I started this channel right now. I also have another gaming channel where I started doing all that shit. Oh, 2 clips a day, and I'm trying to use this title, and I'm trying to use AI to make good titles and descriptions, and using keywords, A/B testing. I think I already mentioned that, but whatever. But if you guys are like me and you recently started a channel or you want to start a YouTube channel, then all I'd have to say is just stop giving a fuck. Just stop giving a fuck. Because I know, guys, I know it can be so overwhelming, and it really is. Like I said, you need all this bullshit, it seems, before you even start recording. You gotta have a good profile picture and banner. You gotta get a fucking custom editor, or you gotta learn really how to edit yourself. You gotta make all these jump cuts. You gotta spend 50 hours, recording and editing your first video. And it's just exhausting for people who obviously most people work. Most of us work, a full time job, and we got other responsibilities, if not families and kids or other hobbies. Most of us don't have the time to sit here for 40 hours and upload and record and edit a video to have all these crazy jump cuts. Because for some reason nowadays, every single video has to have these crazy jump cuts and these crazy flashing shit on the screen and all this text. And all I have to say is, who gives a fuck? Stop doing that. Let's just start uploading the videos that you want to upload. Now, I'm not here to give you guys recommendations, as I'm not really a successful YouTuber myself. But all I'd say is just start uploading. I would say, like most things in life, you just learn as you go. So once you start your YouTube channel, and maybe you have a couple videos that don't do anything, okay, maybe you start to improve your thumbnails a little bit. Maybe you start to improve how you record. Maybe you get a little bit better equipment. Things like that. That's all I can recommend. But YouTube now seems like it's almost like the gym. That's all I can compare it to. Because, if you wanted to go work out back in the day, you just went, did some push ups, you went to the gym, got a membership, started working out, learned the machines maybe, asked a friend to go with you to learn, to help you out, to get used to everything. But now it's like before you go to the gym, you get bombarded. If you look stuff up online, well, you should use this workout routine. You should wake up at 5:30 and eat a fucking bowl of kale. You should do ab workouts at this time. Don't eat until this time. Get the Gymshark clothing before you go to the gym. Get this fancy membership. You want to use the sauna. You need a massage gun. It's like you get fucked. You just get fucked before you even think about walking to the fucking gym and doing a push up or going for a walk. Oh, you should have these shoes for this. That's all I can compare YouTube now to. It's like before you even get started, there's so many ways to turn your fucking head at all this outside noise bullshit that's being advertised to you that it's almost doesn't even make you want to start in the first place. But yeah, he inspired me to make this because I can just, record some gameplay like I am right now. I got some MW2, which holy fuck, I miss this game so much. I love this game. And I'm doing a little voiceover right now. I'm just talking about whatever I feel like. And I'm gonna swear. I'm gonna go express myself however. And not that this is a throwaway YouTube channel. I'll continue to, bullshit and upload videos on this. But I'm not going into this with any expectations. And I advertise that to you guys too. If you go to YouTube, don't have any crazy expectations. I think when we start YouTube, we have this like, oh well, if I do all this right, if I upload those 2 shorts and I make the good title and I have a good thumbnail and I have a good profile picture, you have the expectation that you should be getting views because YouTube should be recommending your video because that's what YouTube's telling you to do. You didn't swear, you did all the right edits, you made it at the right time, you uploaded at the right time, you got good thumbnail, you got the good analytics, you got the good CTR. You have all this bullshit in your way, and your expectation obviously is to get some decent views, some decent watch time. And guess what? A lot of times, a lot of people put their heart and and hours into editing to not get shit. But in Fart Sniffer's example, he uploads these videos and he gets tons of views, which I'm not saying is bad. But what I'm saying is it just kind of sucks for all the people that are really trying hard on YouTube and are making amazing content, and they just don't get anything. So I guess I'm not trying to be the guy that gives out advice because, like I said before, I'm not successful at all either. But all I'd say is just start fucking uploading, guys. Learn how to make your content a little bit better as you go. And you will naturally. If you keep uploading, you'll learn as you go. And if you want to learn, stay curious, obviously. That's all I can say. Stay curious of how you can make your videos better. And I'm not saying like some of these things like thumbnails and titles don't matter. I'm just saying we've overanalyzed YouTube and we've overanalyzed most of our life, honestly. With AI and all this other shit, we're trying to become so efficient every little second. We got to be doing all these things and everything. The video has to be there can't be a pause in the video. Like people don't just do that anymore. People don't pause like I just did. They don't leave that space because we got to jump cut it because people are going to lose. They're going to get distracted and they're not going to want to watch the video. But anyways, man, like that's just me complaining, and I'll make more videos about that later. But I'm just really glad that fucking fart sniffer, I can't say his name without laughing. But I'm just really happy that he went and made this video, man, because it really inspired me, and I think it inspired a lot of people to just go out, and make content, man. Make content. And that's all I can say. Just go make content. It doesn't have to be the best when you start. And don't go into it with any crazy expectations. Just like anything else, man. As it's gonna take time, and if you make good content, I think you will shine through eventually. That's all I can say. But just don't give too much of a fuck. Give just enough of a fuck to make decent content, but not enough fucks to care about all the testing, all the little things, all the little crazy things that you need to do to make your video perfect. Just go out there.